Hello, how is everybody doing out there? Welcome to my channel. This is your favorite author, Peter Nez, and I am going to tell you my story. I think one of the things that's been so interesting with especially YouTube and everything that's been happening on my channel is that I really have had opportunities. I've really had opportunities to kind of make sure that my content is having an impact and actually seeing if, this is a viable way for you to tell your story, which that's literally what I think that's literally what I think it all is. I think it's all just storytelling. Give me just 1 second here. I'm trying to put on somebody here. I'm trying to put on my live just to make sure everything is working okay. We are live streaming to YouTube. I'm your favorite author, Peter Nez. And I am doing my best to really become a part of this live streaming revolution. And I just want to talk a little bit about my story and why I'm doing this and why I think it's so important and what I'm going to be doing with YouTube from now on, and trying to bring you guys value and trying to do my best to get my story across, and hopefully it'll help other people. I'm hoping to God it will. I am somebody who I've written a lot of books on this topic, the topic of self-awareness, the topic of kind of inspirational topics about emotional intelligence, self-inquiry, self-investigation, discovering for yourself who you truly are in a very practical sense. And my story started back in my early 20s, where I experienced this cavalcade of horrifically intense anxiety and fear of losing my mind, which was so palpable and so real that someone who's fiercely independent, did their best to reach out to anybody who was willing to help. And it was day in and day out of absolutely gut-wrenching, heartbreaking days of solitude, isolation, a lot of weeping, a lot of crying, loss of a lot of friendships, loss of a lot of connections, and a good number of years where I didn't have an absolute clue whether or not I would survive. I couldn't tell anybody. It wasn't necessarily solitude, the aloneness that comes with this intense fear, the absolute segregational removal from society, removal from reality, removal from everyday things, removal from people you cared about, was so absolutely heartbreaking and saddening that there were moments where I felt like I needed to do something about it in a very irrational way, if you catch my drift. And luckily I was able to really come across a lot of great teachers, a lot of great masters, a lot of great teachings and pointings that really helped me to kind of discover what it was that I was really putting so much attention on, and why I was so concerned, and why I was so worried, and why I was so paralyzed. Literally paralyzed by this internal demon living inside my head, who I call the eternal doubter, who is constantly doubting you, who is constantly putting you down, who is constantly getting in your way, who is constantly trying to basically thwart you, stifle you, run you into the ground. It's nobody else. Nobody else is responsible. Nothing else is responsible. There's nothing external that's responsible for you not achieving anything. The only thing that's responsible is what's in here, and what you're giving your attention to, and what you're allowing to have power over you. That's something I was very, very lucky. I was very, very blessed to discover through this hellstorm that I had to walk through. There were times where I felt like, why? Why me? Why is this happening to me? Why? What did I do? I haven't done anything wrong. Denial, followed by deep depression, followed by paralysis, followed by irrational thoughts that I can't go on like this. Something needs to happen. And so out of that volcanic terror, internal terror, anxiety doesn't even really cover it. It was complete meltdown city. I mean, anxiety is just, it doesn't have the right amount of breadth, and it doesn't have the right umph of a word to really describe what I was going through. It was just complete obliteration. It was complete obliteration of who I thought I was, who I am as an individual, what I identify with, where I am in the world, what does the world mean to me, what does reality mean to me. It was a complete annihilation. And my channel, this YouTube channel, is all about me sharing how I finally was able to dive in to who I was, how I was finally, through self-inquiry, through self-investigation, through probing, through becoming my own private detective, through becoming my own psychoanalyst, through the help of a lot of great books and teachers and masters that I studied under, through me finally writing this book, A Conversation with Fear, which is a great dialogue, a great book that you can get at Amazon right now, which is all about my struggles, all about really how I came through to see that annihilation as one of the greatest gifts that ever happened to me. It really was. I mean, it's just a phenomenal, I put my heart and soul into that book. And this channel, the episodes that you're going to keep seeing subsequently, I'm going to dedicate this YouTube channel. I'm still trying to come up with titles. I would love for people to, I'm thinking about calling it Mind Training. The name of the show would be Mind Training, is something I'm tentatively thinking about. But you guys, I want to engage you guys. What are some good titles for a brand new show about life, about identity, about who you are, about self-awareness, about reality, about humanity, about how we make sense out of our experiences, how we make sense out of the things that happen to us, and how we can be healthy. How we can be healthy, not just from a physical standpoint, not just from a superficial standpoint, from an external standpoint, but from an internal standpoint. That's what this channel is going to be dedicated to, and that's why I'm doing this kind of opening sort of pre-episode of the new YouTube channel that your favorite author, Professor Nez, Peter Nez, is going to be bringing it to you. Yes, I'm an author, I'm a speaker. I do various speaking gigs around the country, trying to go international, more international. I'm a writing professor. I teach a lot of courses on writing, rhetoric, composition, humanities, creative, nonfiction, things of that sort. I'm a avid social media connoisseur. I love live streaming. I love social media. I'm a digital storyteller. I consider myself a digital storyteller. I've coined the phrase the micro narrative, which is 6 or 7 books that I've published. If you go to my Amazon page, and I'm just going to bring it. I'm going to bring it hardcore, and no small talk here. This is not going to be a frivolous channel. I don't believe in small talk and idle chit chat. I want depth all the way. So each one of these episodes following is going to be, if you press that subscribe button, if you follow this channel, you're going to get more and more videos that I hope will not only bring the conversation to the table, because of the stigma that comes with, you know, our internal struggles, and they feel so personal and they feel so real that we are afraid to share them. But hopefully this channel will inspire, more than anything inspire. I'm not here to teach. I'm not here to point my finger and say this is the way. I'm not here to tell you how to think or how to conduct your life. I'm hoping to God that this will inspire, that my story will inspire. I'm a storyteller first and foremost. And to me, the greatest stories inspire. Whether it's a graphic novel, a comic book, a science fiction fantasy book, a romance novel, fiction, nonfiction, essay, whatever it is, an email, a text message, a conversation, whatever it is, I think the greatest stories, a campfire discussion, a campfire exchange, whatever it is, I think the fuel to the power and the longevity of an effective story is based purely on its ability to inspire. And this YouTube channel is going to be a digital story, a very, very elaborate episode by episode digital story of sharing. And I'm following on my laptop as well, so if you guys, I would like to keep the conversation going and keep the conversation lively, keep the conversation intelligent and, you know, participatory. So please feel free to add. This initial video is just to kind of tell you my story and how when I went through my annihilation, I really thought that was it. It was over for me. I really thought there was nothing else I could do. There was nothing else I could offer, that this is something happened to me. Maybe I took too many drugs in college, or maybe I did the wrong thing at the wrong time, or maybe I was cursed. All these thoughts that just paraded like a carousel, and like an endless eternal carousel of thoughts that I took way too seriously, that I did not investigate, that I did not question, that their mere existence meant to me their validity, equated their validity. I'll end my story with this, and I hope you guys will subscribe to this channel. I'll end my story with this. Hopefully with this conversation, hopefully with this channel, hopefully what my story will inspire is that you create your own meaning. You create your opportunities. There's only so much that you have in your control. Not too much is in your control, but the one thing that is in your control is your governance of your internal kingdom. External factors are not in your control. 99% of external factors are not in your control, including the way you look, including the family you were born into, including the environment you were brought up in. Not in your control. But the governance of your internal kingdom, you are the sole king, the sole purveyor over the land of your inner landscape. That's what this channel is all about. And I'm hoping to God that my story will inspire you, pure and simple. So thank you for joining. Please send me an email. Please send me, feedback. I would really, really appreciate it. You can go to my Facebook author page at Peter Nez Author. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button, that red subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Go to my Facebook author page. You'll see a pinned post of other social platforms that I use and implement a lot. As well as if you want to contact me for any speaking engagements or anything like that. I get a lot of, in the comments, sometimes I get people inquiring about business opportunities. So I always say, go to my, I want to put this at the end of this video, just go to my Facebook author page and click on the email there and send me a direct message, please. That would be the best way to go about that. Okay, I look forward to sharing. I look forward to inspiring, doing the best I can. Thank you so much, and please hit that subscribe button. Thank you.